Okay, mic check. You should be able to hear and also see now. Welcome. Mr. Blue here of TradePhantoms.com. What's going on? What's going on? CT Fox, here and C. Bucket, what's up, Blue? Boston was cool. It's back. Let's hit this. It was cool. Yeah, I'm back. And yeah, time to grind it out. So I'm gonna spend an hour here, give or take. Go over some morning prep, morning routine. Good morning, good morning. And got this thing fairly decent right there. I think if I keep messing with it, it's not gonna do any good. Hey, Montu, what's going on? All right, let's hit it, y'all. Mr. Blue here, yeah? TradePhantoms.com. Spend an hour with y'all, morning routine, and then, as mentioned, and then I'm going to be more futures dominant in the beginning, and then I'll switch over to stock and options for the open, and we shall see if there's any setups that I see fit to potentially take. NVIDIA is on fire. And so let's hit the charts and start this up. Before I dive in, of course, TradePhantoms.com. I always bring this up, even for the group and the members. Top-down multiple time frame analysis, institutional order flow, demand, supply. All right, institutional order flow, demand, and supply. Starting with top down. Right, we're looking at multiple time frame analysis, and I always bring this up. Monthly, weekly, daily. Kind of color code this: orange, yellow, blue. So anything that you see in orange is going to be monthly. Anything that you see in yellow, lines, trend lines, whatever, okay, whatever have a demand, supply in yellow, that's going to be associated with the weekly, and so on and so forth. Blue is going to be daily. Okay, I'm not going to read this out. We got some bullish candlesticks, bearish candlesticks. This is kind of a cheat sheet, okay, for the group and the team, understanding when, where, and why to look at these certain candles are going to be most important location-wise. Bearish candlesticks, same thing, when, where, and why location-wise is most important. Okay, bearish candlesticks and supply, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And one of my favorite things on the planet here, the liquidity map. Okay, have a deep understanding of this. You'll be all set. You'll be set if you can line yourself up or wait for the markets to line up in the proper manner. Okay, so that being said, let's dive to the charts. That's good stuff. I just wanted to take a quick peek as well, just to put this on the radar as well. Well, yesterday being Monday, October 21st. Nothing in terms of news. AJO, good to see you, brother. We got nothing too crazy for the U.S. Of course, if you're not living under a rock, we get the election coming up as well. That's pretty soon, right? But as far as just economic news, it's pretty light this week. Today, nothing crazy. We have a couple of FOMC members speaking, but they're not. It's not Jay Powell, so it's not going to be that major, right? Somebody's always speaking regarding that. We do trade forex. I love trading forex. I swing trade, long term trade forex. Make sure you understand that we have the monetary policy for Canada, Bank of Canada (CAD), for tomorrow. And again, tomorrow for the U.S., nothing too crazy. Existing home sales, nothing too crazy there. Not major market moving, but it's something there. That brings us to Thursday. We have unemployment claims, right? And then we get flash manufacturing PMI, so that's something that you can put on your radar. And then we close up the week on Friday. Nothing too crazy here as well. So it's pretty quiet, not a lot of catalyst here. And all other things being equal, with the election and geopolitical events, things like that, but pretty quiet for the most part. So just stay close to the tape, as we said, the price action. I'm gonna switch over to Thinkorswim right now, and switch this over into the major 4 indexes here. Righty then. So we have. Even though I referenced, this is why I always reference this, even though we just referenced the multiple time frame analysis, monthly, weekly, daily. Okay, I'm just going to go straight to the daily here. So I have the S&P futures upper left, NASDAQ upper right, Dow Jones lower left, and then Russell 2000, the bottom right. Okay, and S&P's more the stronger one here. If I pop this chart open, a lot of lines here. This will make a little bit more sense in the darker background here. But if you look back in the past recordings, we had a major move up. We had a long basing here, basing here, basing. Okay, just could not drop lower, pop tire. Okay, then we had a nice little breakout there. The team and I, been doing great. Just getting long and intraday and day trades and other trades as well. Point I'm trying to make here, long story short, is we had this nice little pop on October 14th. Okay, we had an options expiration last Friday. I was expecting a bit more of a bigger move. I wasn't really trading, traveling, but it was pretty quiet. I mean, there was a lot of money being expired and rolled over into the next expiration, but there's nothing that's really rocking this market for it to come down just yet. The point I'm trying to make, though, however, is from October 15th, 15th or 14th here, these two little red bars, right, or green, and then a red bar right here. We're still essentially like inside of this bar or inside of this candle from October 14th, which was a week ago, right? Last Monday. So we're still inside of essentially last week's range. And today being, it's still only Tuesday. We can open up a bit here. Of course, we're in a bull market. You'll see some levels lower in a moment. We did spike a quick little new high right here on October 17th, which was last Thursday, give or take. Okay, but by a couple of points there, came right back inside of the inside bar, mother bar, and then the past couple of days, we've just been still remaining inside of that October 14th candle high and low. Okay, so again, markets are just kind of I seen something online that was funny, kind of stair stepping, right? It's just stair stepping. It goes up a step, kind of base, up a step, base. Okay. Of course, we have elections coming up. Okay, because this could be, stay diligent, of course, right? But this could be a base, and if we're hitting low range and coming down a little bit lower here this morning, futures are down 0.54% for S&P. We have this 20-pair moving average right here, just as a nice little filter kind of pullback, process right there. I do have this this blue box right here. We have an impulse, a bit of a basing on the daily, like one or two candles here, then a little bit of a rally out of here. So it's not the greatest one in the world here, but I do and am going to. I do have a box there to represent demand in blue. You'll see it better on the darker background, and I'm going to be referencing that here today, this morning, maybe early part, tomorrow morning being Wednesday, in the event that we drop down into here, and I have a level mapped out, which you'll see in a moment. Okay, so of course this is a bull market, right? So all other things being equal, no major catalyst or anything like that, I'm still going to be a buyer of pullbacks into a high quality level of institutional demand. Okay, we get the rising 20 moving average right here. It might be tough to see coming at 58.20s, 58.20 handle on S&Ps. Okay, and it's not much to say with these candles in here because it's just a wick higher, wick lower, wick higher, wick lower, again, inside bar close. So we'll see if today we can maybe break out to the downside a little bit here to find some liquidity. NASDAQ, I can say almost the same thing as well. We'll be talking about, the difference with NASDAQ is there is some supply up here to the left. It's not at all-time highs. Okay, again, I'll take a quick little, I always do this every once in a while, where I'll just put this up here, QQQs on a daily time frame. You can see we're kind of getting pinched a little bit here. So it's interesting. We had this unfilled gap that finally filled, okay, up on the upper side here. Okay, there was an unfilled gap over here to the left. We finally filled that. I did have this level right here, a liquidity sweep for 98.44 that's been on for quite some time for liquidity sweep. That ended up being the high of NASDAQ so far that we're pulled back on, which is, cool, whatever. You had a level that worked out. It's not the first, it's not the last. It could have been wrong on it. No big deal. All right, but that worked out there. We do still have this unfilled gap reference here. In the event that this thing does snap at some point, if we have something that just might snap this kind of formation here, in the event that it does, okay, we could be fishing out down in here to this unfilled gap at 470.50. Okay, so just how we were kind of waiting for this unfilled gap up here, grinding it higher. Okay, if we do kind of snap below here, okay, there's really not a lot of great levels here below price, other than maybe I would say this unfilled gap. Okay, and if I have this drawing up here. Okay, we are here, all right, and we're still kind of just hovering. We're just still hovering right here. Okay, if I just draw the illustration here with the impulse correctional segments inside, right, using also demand and supply, right. So all-time high would be here. So far we have not had that. All right, now I'll go back to futures. Okay, here at Nasdaq futures, again, just watch out for if we do rally, we do have some more supply up there to the left. Okay, but I would not be surprised one bit if Nasdaq joins the party with S&P and creates an all-time high. Right. The question is, are we going to come lower? Okay, to pick up more buyers and demand before we go higher. Okay, or are we going to go higher first? Okay, make that liquidity, pop that new high, and then come back to mean reversion. Okay, that's the ultimate question. So just stay diligent, right? On that October 15th, okay, October 15th, this red bar right here specifically. If I just look to the right, okay, we had a little bit of a quick new low on the October 16th candle, daily time frame Nasdaq futures, by the way. Okay, down slightly, 0.63%, but we are inside. Okay, we are inside of the October 15th bar, as mentioned. So just like we are inside of the October 14th bar or candle, from New York, bar, just how we are inside of the October 14th bar candle, Nasdaq, we are inside of the October 15th bar candle, right? So we, just be diligent of that, all right? Because markets have been moving up, down, up, down, but we're still inside of that bar. So this is what we call the inside bar or the mother bar, okay, or the mother candle, okay? And we're all inside bar here, all right? So I'll map out some levels lower. You'll see it on the darker background in a moment, all right? Just move forward here, pick up the speed. We got Dow Jones lower left. It participated in all-time highs. Dow Jones for you Dow Jones traders. Okay, I'm not much of a Dow Jones guy. More of an S&P Nasdaq. But Dow Jones playing ball. All right, all-time high. All right, pulling back 20-pair moving average. All right, Russell 2000. You love it, you hate it, you love it, you hate it. All right, it's very very rangy. All right, but there is some good play. I don't know if anybody caught that short yesterday. Russell 2000 came out of the gate inside bar break lower. Some puts were printing. I think the last day that we were trading before I had to go travel, we took a nice trade on IWM and Russell. What was that, on Wednesday? All right, October 15th, give or take. All right, shout out to the members that shouted this out on intraday setup. Right now, Russell 2000, I'd be careful. We're coming right back down into its range. So it's hard to really, it's more of a day trader's market right now in Russell 2000 because it's just hard to get some fall through up or down for some swings or some movement. All right, the moves are not lasting more than a day or two. Okay. All right, eventually that will change, I'm sure. Okay, but right now it's just the condition that we are in. All right, I'm going to switch over to the monthly, weekly, daily chart here. S&P futures. I'll start here. I'm going to drill down to the smaller time frames here. And if you're new to the channel, you'll kind of see a process in the system here, or one of the processing systems that we go through here. Okay, so I got the monthly on the left. I got weekly here in the middle, daily here on the right. Again, monthly, weekly, daily, top-down approach. This is super important. Okay. And however, I'm going to drop down to this smaller time frames here, in which I'll have the 60-minute time frame upper left, followed by the 30-minute time frame bottom left, 5-minute here in the middle, 2-minute here on the right. I'm going to pop open the 60-minute time frame and 1-hour time frame of S&P futures. And one of the first things that we want to do here, just to organize and follow a process and system, is map out what's called our Globex high, Globex low, which is a fancy word for overnight high and overnight low. It's pretty cool. It's not the only platform that does this or broker that does this, but you can get some custom indicators. But the gray space is the overnight session. So the overnight, right? Overnight. So you can see futures are down, right? S&P is down about 0.5%. All right, there's the Globex high represented by that blue line, Globex low represented by this blue line, right? So that gray space is overnight. So you can see, got VWAP right here, that white line. So it's just been kind of fading down. Yesterday, we had a nice little move up off the open, then we swiped down real quick, right? And then you put it in a hammer bar, kind of bounced out and then closed again, inside bar, right? So as we mentioned on the daily. Now the long story short here, the skinny here is going to be, there's a setup. And this one might come into play here today, folks. Okay, if I look down and left, right, below Globex low, right here, where I'm focusing my cursor. If I look down and left, do I have qualified level of demand lower? And if I look down and left below there, I do have some kind of levels here, right? There is some levels here. All right, I'm just copy and paste this here. All right, but as you go through the process with, for some of my phantoms that I already know, is this a high quality level? All right, is this a prime level? Is fresh and not been tested, right? It's not, okay? We've been tested a couple times here, okay? So I would be very careful with this level here, price point coming in at what, 58.55, okay? Just because it's not that high quality, right? It was a level over here, impulse, basing, impulse. First of all, it was a overnight level right here that formed this bigger rally here off the open here, okay? But that's where it started here, and it got tested right here, it got tested right here, okay? So if in the event that we do snap a bit lower and come into this level again at 58, 55 handle, 50 to 50 handle, give or take, okay? You could potentially try to take a trade here. There might be a small liquidity sweep happening this morning right below here for a Globex trap long, okay? But this is going to be aggressive. I'd be careful with this. I don't have enough time to explain liquidity sweeping, at least for right now. We do talk a lot more about that, of course, when I have more time and space to talk about that in the live trade rooms. Okay, but there could be something here. All right, if this is a if it's going to continue with its inside bar range, okay, the markets might not want to sift lower, okay, into the 58.27 handle, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. Let me just put a price on this before I move on and down there. All right, so it's going to be super aggressive here. All right, aggressive long, potentially for liquidity sweep. That comes in at what, 58.48. Okay, right down there. I'll move this box out of the way so y'all can see a bit more better. And I'll zoom in as well. All right, right in there. All right, so I'd be careful with that one. All right. And for my phantoms, you might wonder what I have. Just like yesterday, look at yesterday as a reference. We had like levels here, and then we swiped down, okay? And then we faded right back up. So that could happen here. Now, a better one that I would put on your radar, a bit more cleaner, would be the 58.27. Okay, 58.27, 58.25. I would say write that down. Here's why: because what color do I have over here inside of this is blue, right? So that means daily. So this is a This is a rally, a basing, and a rally. Okay, I'm on a 60-minute time frame right now, but on the daily time frame, this is a rally, a bit of a basing, and a nice pop rally up. Okay, and inside of that rally base rally, okay, IBI, impulse basing, impulse is another IBI on the 60-minute time frame. Okay, right there. Okay, so that's a nice little that's a decent one right there. That's basically going to be the open of October 11th. Okay, all right, 9:30 a.m. open, and then boom, we popped out. Okay, we popped out of that. That comes in about what, 58.27. So this one might be good. This one's good here. Okay, I'll take the aggressive off of this one. Just because of the way that we're in the daily right now, all other things being equal, not much of a catalyst this morning with much news or anything like that. This one could be fairly decent here this morning, okay? And as you can see as well, in addition to that, there's that little box right there. Now, it might be hard to see here with all the notes on the charts, okay? But we also have confluence with the 20-period moving average as well coming down into that level right there, okay? So instead of writing aggressive, I could say confluent with 20 EMA. And I'll put a D for daily. Okay, whoa, 20 Z's? No. 20D. Okay, EMA. All right, pretty decent there. All right, and for some Globex trap shorts, we had a level over here, worked out decent. Okay, great. All right, worked out over here. This is old now, so I'm just gonna use this to kind of clean up. All right, just clean the charts up a little bit here. Bounce off that level. For Globex trap shorts, I mean, we do have some stuff. If we were to go up here, Globex above Globex high, I mean, I could reference this. I mean, I would be getting a bit more conservative up here, as shorting this market's a bit aggressive as well. So I'd want to see kind of like almost like a liquidity sweep up here. So I'm just going to put a price chart, a price on the chart, called 59.15. I'd want to get more, since this is aggressive, I wanted to get up a little bit more higher, potentially for liquidity sweep higher up there. So I'll just copy and paste this, duplicate that chart, and put that bad boy right there. All right, and that's kind of the playing field for the most part. There's some levels inside of here as well, inside of Globex trap. Okay, for my phantoms who know how to analyze demand supply. All right, you can kind of work off these levels in here. All right, but I want to be a bit more conservative and safer for the folks on YouTube as well. One last thing before I move on from this is this level was developed what October 11th, right? October 11th in S&P futures. Real quick, if you go over to SPYs and SPX, if I go to, for example, October 11th, 60-minute time frame here, we can have a confluenced area with that. So if I go to October 11th, where are you? October 11th. I'll be basically off the open. October 11th off the open, found you, right? So if I go here, October 11th, right there at 9:30 a.m., right there, give or take. Okay, this level right here in SPY, right here, is going to be that level on S&P futures. Okay. Another thing that that this is going to give me as well is, I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's an orange. I'm on a 60-minute time frame of SPY. All I'm doing is I'm finding the level in futures, and I'm confluencing that, connecting that, if you will, okay, to the SPY. Okay. And another thing that I wanted to make a note for you folks on YouTube and the team at Phantoms is that this is a monthly VWAP, the October 1st monthly VWAP in orange. Okay. So this level is Globex trap. Okay. For futures, it's a decent little IPI on daily on futures. It's a clean level. And we also have monthly, what's called monthly VWAP. If I could spell. Okay, confluence here. Okay. Now in English, confluence. Okay. Now in English, what does that mean? Just trying to stack the odds in our favor. Okay, trying to stack the odds in our favor. Okay, and with this basing up here, all right, if this thing snaps down below last week's low, marked off in yellow here, you know, some people are like, oh no, this market's going to come down, They're selling short right into a level of demand on a monthly VWAP, okay, with an IBI on S&P futures and a decent little nice clean level of demand, okay, on the smaller time frames. All right. So anyways, that's my time for now on the as much I can dedicate at least to this one concept and one area level right here. Okay. Now the challenge is, are we going to break it, right? Are we going to break it, right? So break this low range that we've been in, as I mentioned in the early part in the morning. We've been inside bar for quite some time now, for a couple days now. Okay. I'm going to move on here, keep it flow and going. And I'm going to switch over to NASDAQ futures. All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because everything that I said for S&P could almost be extremely similar to NASDAQ futures, okay? But just make sure you're mapping out your proper levels, okay? NASDAQ could be a bit more volatile. The Globex high being there, switch up these lines here, Globex low, we're kissing the Globex low right now. All right, we had a couple levels here, 20, 70 here, yada, yada, yada. Great. Okay. The equivalent level of the October, 11th, or what have you, that was up here. So NASDAQ's a bit more weaker. So the other level in NASDAQ, if you were to do the same thing in NASDAQ and try to sift out the higher quality level of demand, that would be, you know, I'm going to go quick here. I can't explain so much in here. Yep, Sean Callahan, good to see you, brother. Yes, sir. It was good, man. It was good. Yes, sir. Happy to be back, man. Happy to be back. This one would be the October 8th level, okay? So 2,000, I'll write this down. It might be hard to see. 20,095, NASDAQ. 20,095. Now, if you notice, I have a couple lines right here, 2270, 2165, okay? These are not the highest quality level, the highest quality levels, if I can speak. Okay, so just be careful with these. You know, this level already got tagged and kind of worked out. Okay, so be careful there. Okay, I have a deeper level right here. We were looking at, we did a session on stop loss hunting here, 2165. You can put a pin on that one. Okay, but if I just keep a long story short here, give you the better one, the higher one that's going to be less aggressive here for today. Okay, that would be here, down here, 20,095. Now I'm gonna go find that level in QQQs. Okay, so it's the date of October 8th, okay, October 8th, okay? So if I go to QQQs, for example, October 8th, basically off the open, right here, you see that at the bottom, you might be able to see it, October 8th, right here. So that is this level, So everything that I just did in S&P would be the same for NASDAQ, but that would be this level right here. Okay, now we don't have monthly VWAP as a confluence down here. Okay, that monthly VWAP is up here for this monthly VWAP is up here. Okay, which could be coming into play today. This one up here. All right, close to last week's low. Yeah, there's monthly VWAP, but this is the level of demand right here to the left. That's the source of the breakout, and this one already got tested right there, Okay, so Nasdaq already tested its monthly VWAP. All right, worked out beautifully right here, right? And and now we're inside bar as we've been talking about all this morning. Okay, so if we come back down in here, just know that this is going to be last week's low. Okay, we could snap this potentially today, tomorrow. All right, this is not going to be the first time back. Okay, so this level down here, there's an unfilled gap. This one would be better. Okay, let me just clean this up here. All right, so all I'm doing is organizing my data and my charts nicely. Okay, or trying to be nicely done here. All right, so this one would be better down here. There's an unfilled gap. I'm going to copy and paste this line to save a couple of clicks and seconds here. All right, that would be right in here. All right, and I'll add a note on this one. Unfilled gap. And this is a clean level, prime, as we call it, right? Prime clean in NQ futures. Confluence, all right? Gap. All right, it comes in about what? I'm just going to round up 483. I'm just going to round up. Keep the numbers clean right now, okay? We have no time to play semantics. All right, 483. All right, that'll be the better one down here. So I'll put a blue ellipse here. Be careful with the red ones up there. All right, hopefully that made some kind of sense. This is recorded, so you can go back and watch that. All right, gonna keep it flowing. We get what, 13, 15 minutes? All right, so I kept down here. All right, so we'll come back to that. All right, I love trading the Qs. All right, so that'll be down here. All right, I'll put this demand. This would be the, again, on NASDAQ futures, 20,095. All right, so even if, you know what, I'm just gonna round up because 20,100 is just so much easier to say. Okay, 5 points in NASDAQ is nothing. All right, it does that with a blink of an eye. All right, 20,100. All right, make a note there. This would be the QQQ, unfilled gap, confluence. All right, moving on. Oil. Annoying. It's just been annoying. I don't need, there's nothing else to say about it. It's just been range, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, long story short here, we're back closer down. If I were to ask y'all, are we closer, and this has been monthly range for years, okay? For a couple of years now. So if I were to ask, are we closer to monthly highs or monthly low range or monthly high range? We're back down to closer to the monthly low range, okay? Again, these have been short-lived trades. It's been really hard to have some swings that last, some swing trades, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. We're coming or now approaching to the end of the month. Okay, we have a topping tail so far. We still have what, this week and what, most of next week. Before Halloween next week to end the month of October. But as you can see, just stay close to the tape, okay? Just stay close to the tape. It's just hard to really get something working here. We are coming down into low range here. We do have a red bar. We had an inside bar yesterday, okay, of this red bar coming down here. And in the event that we do kind of pop and absorb this little supply zone that got put in coming down in here, we could potentially pop in a bit more higher. Yes, geopolitical events are happening overseas and all that kind of stuff, right? Oil stays tight to all that kind of stuff, which is, I'm not downplaying that, all right? But I'm not staying up at night worrying about what's going on every day or what's happening with oil, right? So I'm trading things, NVIDIA just made all-time new highs, right? So you can trade other things that are actually moving and trending a bit more. And so just be diligent, all right? Mapping out our Globex high, Globex low. All right, Globex trap above here. We have a level up here. All right, we have a couple levels up here as well. So just map out your levels if you know what you're doing here, understanding demand and supply, institutional order wise. All right, I did put up here that I would put an entry at the stop loss where people have their stop losses above here, especially given the fact that we're coming from low range up here. I'm sorry, low range down here on the monthlies. Okay, but if we did break below Globex low, I mean, if we come deeper in here, there is an IBI, something decent right here. Oil 68, oil 68. I'll call it 50. All right, so this would be something that you could put on your radar this morning in the event that we swipe lower into this level right here. And we have an orange box right there, which signifies that that is a monthly level. Okay, and the monthly level is going to be a very powerful one. Okay, that's holding this low range. Okay, so yeah. I mean, I'm gonna save some time here because it's just make sure you're waiting for your proper levels. Okay, make sure you're waiting for proper levels. Okay, so I got 67.50 here as a game plan down here, and then I have 72.25, and then I would even reference 74.50s up here as well for some potential Globex trap shorts. Okay, it's gonna get there today. Not sure. Stay diligent. Okay, my TradePhantoms would know how to trade the tape kind of off the open as well, but I don't have enough time to explain that right now. I'm gonna move on to gold. And is anybody surprised that gold made new all-time highs? Shouldn't be. Okay, so market up and gold up. Gold's basically like, okay, there's something going on in this world right now, but the world don't care right now at the moment. But gold all-time highs. Okay, monthly, weekly, daily. I was actually hoping it came down a little bit more lower. And I'm always selling puts and GLD, but this is futures. I mean, I still have these levels down here that never really hit, but we swiped higher. Okay, now I do want to make a note here. Just be a little careful. Okay, now that we're making new all-time highs here. Okay, we're starting to get pretty stretched. Okay, of course we can go higher, but we're getting outside of 2 standard deviations on the monthly. Okay, and I'm not saying that's going to crash. Okay, but typically that would be prime for at least a minimum pullback. Okay, minimum of a pullback, and we are on the liquidity map. All right, my Phantoms would know. Right now we are heavy in quadrant number 2. Okay, so just be careful. Yes, get on board with day trade longs, etc. All right, but just be very diligent. Okay, make sure you're taking profit appropriately, protecting yourself. Managing your stop losses, etc. Because this thing could have a deeper pullback on the monthlies, weeklies. Okay, so on the dailies and weeklies. Okay, so we're heavy in quadrant number 2 right now on all time frames, monthly, weekly, and daily. Okay, so y'all know what I'm talking about there. Now, the one thing that this did leave in its dust here, gold dust, is there's a bit of an IBI right here. So we have an impulse basing, okay, and then absorbing the supply to the left, okay, small time frame supply, absorbing it, little move down, and then we pop new high, right? So there is another little new fresh little gold dust right here below it. Okay, that comes in at about, I'll update, you'll see it late in a moment on the small time frames, comes in at about what, 2682 handle, give or take, with the rising 20 period moving average. Okay, so just be diligent on that, and that did also leave a decent little demand zone here on the weeklies as well. I was hoping that gold came down lower into the 2540 handle. I was ready to load up on essentially like all products, futures. I would even buy GLD stock, buy calls, sell puts, everything. Okay, but we'll see. All right, we'll see what weeklies could still push us a bit more lower. Is it happening today? Probably not. Okay, but be diligent here. I'll drop down the smaller time frame here. All right, and I'm not going to go all the way back here. All right, but as you can see, we have these levels here. It has some levels, it popped down, okay, to the left, but this eventually got absorbed, and we popped new highs here. So I was telling my Phantom to be very careful with short and gold. You'd rather be a buyer of pullback into demand, and as you can see why, right? Macro picture up. All right, if I map out the Globex high, right now that's going to be right here. Globex low right here. Not sure if it's going to happen, but today, Globex trap, there is something here. It's not the greatest level in the world, but gold is just on fire. Gold fire right now. So this thing has such strong momentum that, even the not really greatest high quality level could still, give you some gains here. All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, put a number here. Call it 2720 handle. Is it going to snap down lower below here today, below Globex low today? Looks like it's not, but just be careful, okay? Because if you noticed yesterday, we opened on highs, okay, and then gold for the day trading session, all right, pulled down, okay. So just be careful of FOMOing and buying equal to or new highs, okay. We're not going to look to short this. Be careful with that because you're just in the abyss. There's no supply reference to the left. Okay, so you're just gonna have to go to a small time frame and try to catch momentum down. But again, that's gonna be a difficult trade. Okay, it's gonna be a harder one to do. All right, might get stopped out a couple times here and there. Tickets I might want to check for bullish are ABB dash Apple Shop Uber, possible gap up. Apple Shop Uber, yep, yes sir. I'm gonna switch over and transition to stocks right now. My man, was that Asher? Was that my man Asher? My man is developing into a good trader. He's a Phantom member here. Good to see you, brother. All right, I'll move on. All right, I'll move on here. And there is a new level down in here. All right, I'll update that. That's probably not happening today. So I'll update that. And, for YouTube on Thursday, I'll talk a bit more about that. And, of course, Phantoms members tomorrow, we're back at it for the trade room on Wednesday. All right, let's move on to some equities here. All right, I'm going to go fast and furious here. All right, VIX. VIX up slightly here, up 5%. Pre-market. VIX up, market down. VIX down, market up. To keep it short and sweet. Also map this out on the smaller time frame as well. All right, there's the overnight low. Well, you got a gap up, so I'll just reference that gap. Overnight high VIX here. All right, I want to see how VIX sustains itself throughout the day as well. Inverse correlation. Markets and VIX do the opposite thing, albeit I'm going to have a chat with the team when I have more time about vol up, market up over the past couple of weeks. All right, that it's a discussion that needs a lot more time than what I have left. All right, we got most sectors are red other than energy. So energy is going to be a bit more hot today. For now, we'll see. Energy's been hard to trust. SPYs. We already have a little bit of a level game plan mapped out here. We do have a gap down. Okay, yesterday's high, yesterday's low in blue. Last week's high, last week's low in yellow. All right. Have that mapped out. All right, we have a gap down. It's still inside gap. We'll see. Again, we'll see if this level can break last week's low. All right. There could be a liquidity sweep here this morning as well. All right, I already mentioned that. We got monthly view up down here. All right, be careful just because if it breaks last week's low today, don't get so gung-ho on trying to short. Okay, there could be a liquidity sweep here. All right, things take time. All right. Moving on, Qs, see gap down in Qs. Again, same thing inside gap. I can say the same thing, we already kind of covered that. Okay, could be liquidity sweep down here. All right, then we have that clean level back there lower. IWM has been a bit more weaker. Okay, if that's going to be the case as well, it's not the weakest this morning, however, I will say. Yesterday clearly was inside move down. Be careful, IWM, we're kind of in the middle of the range. Apple has outside gap down. All right, so this is a pretty fierce gap. All right, close here. Apple snuck a quick little all-time high in, boop, right? And then, we've been basically inside that candle, because we gapped down the next day. Apple's been volatile, making its all-time high here. The road to all-time highs was a bumpy one, running over the pumpkins under it. On October, but we have an outside gap here, and that's a mortgage gap. Okay, so that's a pretty fierce gap there. Okay, so we'll see. Just because we had a gap down like that, though, doesn't mean we're gonna go right short on that. But that's a pretty fierce one there. Just remember, we can always kind of fade up a bit. Okay, maybe retest yesterday's low right here, and then fade lower. So just make sure that we are understanding the intraday tape as well. Amazon, I'm going to wait. I'm going to save some oxygen and breath here because it's just inside and there's no gap here. Be careful with Amazon. There's better ones. Even Asher's finding some other better opportunity versus, I can say the same thing for Google. Almost the same thing. inside range, getting pinched. It's just kind of being annoying. Okay, at least for day trades. All right, it's just basic, right? It's just basic. But there's probably going to be better ones here. Tesla, same thing. I want to be careful. Tesla does have earnings. Okay, coming up. I'm looking to do an earnings play on this. Won't have enough time to get through it here today. AVGO, outside gap down. Now, AVGO has been one of the stronger stocks. Again, snuck in a quick new all-time high early part October. It's been my go-to for bullish trades. We do have an outside gap on AVGO. However, we're on monthly VWAP, and I'd want to be a little careful, shorting this one. But I'll stay diligent to the tape. Meta, all-time high, of course. This has been showing signs of strength. Yesterday was a bit of a hammer bar close, not the greatest one in the world. We are at a level here. It's not the greatest one as well. This is still, because we haven't really cracked this and we're not even testing, testing anything major. This one, I hate to say to sound cheesy, but it can kind of go anywhere, but I'm going to be leaning more bullish just because it's been more relative stronger. Microsoft has been jealous of the other ones, the other FANG stocks. I will say still in this range here, but be careful with this basing here, because if markets do want to catch a bid, Microsoft might come into play. Today has a gap, no gap, slight gap down, nothing too crazy. But if I compare, Apple and other stocks that we just kind of covered, we have some gap downs, but Microsoft is not. So off the open, it's kind of giving us a bit sign of strength, but that just changed right there. You can see just moving down just a little bit there. NVIDIA, on fire. Right? Had a couple members that were like trying to short this thing. So yeah, just be careful with that. Okay. NVIDIA all-time highs. So NVIDIA's, holding this, NVIDIA's one of the stocks that are helping hold this, market up, right? S&Ps, okay? With Apple, AVGO, some big stocks, okay? You have Amazon, Google, Tesla, Microsoft off its highs, okay? But we got big names like, Apple, AVGO, and NVIDIA, okay, that are at all-time highs or just poked new all-time highs. So, I'd now just be careful with this, okay? Because now you don't want to be buying all-time highs. Wait for pullback. So we've been catching NVIDIA long, okay, here, all right. But now we're at all-time highs. So you don't FOMO, okay? Retail traders, will be coming in potentially, coming in here, but it's still going to be a tough short, okay? Because it's his relative strength right now. All right, so just stay diligent on that. AMD, a bit more relative weaker. Holding up on is, I kept last month's VWAP here because it's giving me this nice picture here to hold this this channel that we've been having here. So this hasn't snapped yet, but AMD's on the radar in the event that semiconductors do snap. NVIDIA's holding semis up right now, but at some point AVGO might come down and test this 158 unfilled gap handle right here. Okay, is it going to happen today? Not sure, but I stay diligent. This is more one of the weaker ones for now. Okay, for now. AMD is still doing some great things company-wise. All right, but right now it's just a bit more relative weaker. TSM has been stronger as well. TSM has been great. Outside gap lower today. XOM, dog. I don't know if anybody caught earnings on Netflix. Anybody catch earnings? Long, arm, QCOM. Market just open. Let me see what the quickly, just the internals really quickly. What are some tickers? Asher provided some tickers too as well. Apple, I know Apple was one of them. Uber was another. Advanced decline. So VIX, too early for a cumulative tick. No, VIX, it's up 5%. We'll see if that sustains. Gap down in SPYs, but gap down into some demand. Advanced declines, negative 60, negative 600, not super extreme, slightly negative. First print vol D, slightly negative here, 1.4, nothing extreme. Plus or minus negative 30 would be extreme. All right, so nothing too extreme here. Just a wide range bar off open, not closed yet. The only challenge with this is the 200 period moving average right there coming in a weekly. Microsoft interesting for bids. Uber was one. Asher, you could type in those tickers again. It went away. Uber. Uber, I would need this thing to actually give us some good close fall through. Right now, that wick at the top there on the first 2-minute print is not ideal. Just for right now. JP Morgan on the radar here. For bullishness inside of intermediate demand. See how JP Morgan first print so far trying to absorb this whole little small area here. Just be patient. All right, AMD, pretty nasty here. I mentioned this was more one of the weaker one. All right, I'm gonna get long put AMD, which is bearish. You know, day trade, so it'll be in the October 25th expiration. You could pick up the 150 for $1, or if you wanted to get more delta, you could pick up the 152 for about $1.84. All right, I'll pick up some more delta here. I'll pick up the 152 half for about $1.80 right there. AMD long put, day trade, October 25th expiration, right? Done and done. Once I get this fill. Ugly fill. I got a 193 fill they gave me. I'll just put a line there to represent that, give or take. AMD long put bearish. Day trade. Coog. Gotcha, Asher. Asher is becoming a beast, man. When he speaks at Phantoms, people listen. Microsoft holding the bids, jealous. Remember I mentioned that in pre-market? Well, breaking the 20, bucking the trend right now on the open and overnight futures. I like this bar here on the twos. Microsoft, as odd as it sounds, it's giving us some play. I like how it's breaking the 20. Now we have not broken out of here, so just be diligent on this, okay? But we got something here, something decent. So I want to be a little careful with longs right now off the open. Amazon getting cooked a bit here. But it's off the 20 there. All right, so we could potentially work off Microsoft here. Again, still not the best setup just based on the higher time frames. Very basy, but might be able to get a nice little low risk trade. We have this bar that we can lean against for a long call Microsoft for a quick day trade. Let's see if we get some fall through on this. And if SPYs and Qs just catch bid, you could take some profit on AMD if you'd like right now, just to scale out some there. I don't know if I will put you up on a call maybe. Yeah, you could do that. You could put you could copy and paste the options code and put anything on that chart there. Let me see. If you wanted to pick up the 422 half, that's going for about a solid $3. Or if you wanted to get a little bit more cheaper, there you can get the 197s. I'll pick up the 44 half here for the 305 Microsoft long call day trade. Probably could have got a little bit better price on this. If you want to pick up lower delta, you can pick up the 425 for 195. Either one of these two are fine. I sent out an order for this one and got filled right there at 295. Looks like they gave me on the 422 half. I had it on a little bit of a pullback right there on the twos, but it's okay. Just got long call here. When you go to Phantoms, we build what's called a call put matrix. I have so much to cover that I don't do it here. You know, I want to protect some things with the Phantoms members as well. But yeah, you can copy paste the code of your premium and put it on the chart. PLTR. I actually picked up PLTR for like over here before this basing. It's in my longer term portfolio. Let's see, this morning, it's just extended on the monthlies. Oof. Nice positive CRG here off the intermediate time frame as well. Coming out of the buy zone. Could be a 1, 2, 3 go continuation here today on dailies. The challenge with PLTR, sometimes the options are not that liquid, but they're getting better now. I mean, yeah, this is worth a shot here. 43 strike, long call for a PLTR. Not bad. This could pull back on you though, but it's lined up. We're a little extended on the monthlies, but this thing has some room to go. I do own this, you know, disclaimer in my longer term portfolio, just long stock. But this would be a day trade. See what we can do here. Just sent out an order for the 43 call. And got filled at 95 cents on that. We are coming up into yesterday's high. So obviously we'd have to break that. All right, let's see, NVIDIA. All right, I'm gonna take some profit here on AMD. These are kind of already printing up to the two. You know, let me. I'm gonna scale out of some AMD here. Let me see. I just had them at 209s. I got 202. You can see NVIDIA trying to put in some bids here right now, hold bids. So this could affect this trade just a little bit here. TP Microsoft, is that Joey G? My man Joey G is in the house. Let's go. Triple M, I'll check in a moment. TP, take profit, number one. I don't have time to. Morning. All right, looks like Microsoft popped a bit there. NVIDIA trying to do something here. We did have a 5-minute positive CRG close. That's going to affect AMD a bit there. You know, NVIDIA could be a decent play. Joey G telling us to take some profit on Microsoft. I probably missed my shot there, but good job. Let's see. Tesla's just hard to get short day trade into the 200 pair moving average. You know, for earnings, I like to trade the chart. We're at monthly lows from last month. It's very rangy inside middle weekly demand, and we have 200 pair moving average. I'm going to be a little bit more just bullish on Tesla for earnings just because of the chart setup. Triple N, somebody mentioned. Let's see, gap up, fade. I'd have to see what is coming up in here to the left. Right now it's on a gap and a crap. JP Morgan failed. So there might be some trapped people on JP Morgan right now chasing on that. The challenges monthly, weekly, daily is so great up. But intraday, it's a trap bar. Some of my phantoms would know you could potentially wait for a 30-minute close here. I mean, we have some demand right below here, so that one might be a tough one. But I'm sure there's some people trapped up here. That might have to puke out. All right, this is my chance here to take some profit on Microsoft here. All right, TP some Microsoft here. Nice little pop on the options here. Bottom for 295, just sold some off at 335 right there. All right, not too bad. Okay, moving on. NVIDIA, is it following through there a bit? We have some fall through on NVIDIA ticker. Yeah, probably bringing AMD to break even or a slight loss, but make sure you took some profit a little bit on AMD there. It's battling its VWAP. NVIDIA's probably going to try to pull it up. Anybody get long NVIDIA here? Give us that bar on the 5-minute time frame. I just want to be a little careful here on YouTube because I got what my timer has 1 minute left on it, so I want to be careful here with y'all on YouTube. But yeah, NVIDIA's on fire right now. Be very diligent with this. What are we trading? 154 rounding up. So maybe want to get a little lower delta and maybe to control a little bit of risk there. You know, if NVIDIA pops, it's going to go. So if you wanted to get a little bit lower delta, 38 delta would have you at 146 strike. That's going for about $1.72. If this thing just snapped on you and tested VWAP real quick, you know, you'll take less exposure. I just want to be a little careful giving that one out. Could price out some risk for you folks. If we did eventually, if this bar gave out, you got stopped out. But I do like it. I do like it actually here though. That's the thing here is even if NVIDIA pulled back down a little bit here later in the afternoon, this is a little decent level right there. So if I were to take this, I would manage this one up here a bit more aggressive. Okay, up here. And TradePhantoms, I just want to party. Too early for that. Too early for that. So I'd manage. I would manage this one aggressively, personally, right? However, we pulled back into this demand zone, which isn't the greatest in the world. You know, it wouldn't get a high score if you know, was scoring with Mr. Black here. But you know, if we did swipe a new low, you know, we have the rising 20 pin moving average in here as well. That might be confluent with that. All right. Dash. Let's check Dash. Hurricane Juice. Eric A's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Hurricane Juice. That's a famous day. Dash on the move. Dash is dashing. Yeah, this one's nice. I wish we got to this one just a little bit more earlier. The challenge with this one too is the options might not be too liquid. It's actually not too bad. But you see, volume 90,000 shares, very low volume, and it's pretty. It's not very liquid. So you can pick up a 40 delta here, 155 strike for 129. A little bit late on it because I don't like to buy new highs here. I like to take profit on new highs. Let's take, before I have to go here, let's take profit on some Microsoft here. All right, and folks, if we were in the live trade room, I'd be trading with the team for hours and hours on end here, right? So I have to be a little bit different and a bit more cautious because I'm already over my time limit here. So that being said, let's take some profit on Microsoft here. TP some Microsoft. All right, this ended up being a nice little solid trade for the first 15 minutes open here. If they fill me, I got a 365 fill on Microsoft. Okay, long call. All right. This is why I was mentioning to y'all, be very careful with NVIDIA buying all-time highs. Okay, be very careful. Okay. So if anybody who did just got dumped on a little bit there, you might want to be a little bit more patient and for it to eventually come down here. Okay, and that's why I didn't cut out of AMD, because it wasn't really battling its it hasn't really conquered or claimed its VWAP, that white line right there. Okay. So this already printed a little bit here, not a lot. All right, but they're down, let's leave what, 15 cents, 16 cents, TP a little bit. Some of y'all might have got a better exit than mine on the TP1, but this is still looking good. It hasn't conquered its VWAP yet. All right, now if we were to break, let me give you some stop loss placement here. Risk management, we always focus on risk management in TradePhantoms, right? We don't care about how much money we make if we're right. We care more about how much money we are risking if wrong, right? So that's what professional traders do. Okay, what is the risk? What is the risk? What is the risk? Risk first analysis. So therefore, that being said, if we were, depends on how much space you want to give it. Okay, so if I were to just put it, if I would say, okay, if this makes a new high right here, which is we would be giving back this bar right here, which is pretty significant. Let me just give you kind of the worst case scenario. 185, 156.85. I'll give you some I'll price slice this in the option. So in the event, if we go up to 156.85, what would be the risk on that, right? So if I took this off, and this is think or swim, so we bought these for 93, sold some off at 202. Some of y'all might have got better than I. We're trading 182 and only down 10 cents, right? 13 cents, no big deal. Okay, we're battling its VWAP as mentioned, 186.85, 156.85, 156.85 equals, you'd be risking about a buck, about $100, okay, per contract, right? Of course. All right. So that would be kind of the risk there, right? So you're not 100% loss, 1.93. So you're risking about $100 out of that. Okay. If that's too rich for you, I mean, you want to have proper stop loss placement. I mean, the only thing I can really do here is I would say, okay, above the the 20 here, because this is all just one bar here for the most part. I'm already in a very small time frame. So if I brought that down here to say 155, I'll check Oracle. 155, call it 85. All right, around the 20. Let's see what that looks like. That will reduce some loss there. You can bring your risk down to about what, 75. I round up $75. Okay, per contract. All right. So that's the challenge. It's going to break VWAP. All right, give some space. You don't want to be too tight, get clipped out real quick, right? This could easily make a quick little equal to a new low and go on a TP profit campaign. Okay. Cool. All right, Oracle. Oracle's a beast. Kind of rangy over the past couple days. There might be better ones on the dock right now. Now this thing is lined up, right? Monthly, weekly, daily up, which is good. We're in the base right here though on dailies. So you could potentially work on this, paint bars. We have this thing at Phantoms inside of institutional order flow. We also just, price action, paint bars. It's all price and time. Pretty simple once you know. But yeah, I'd work on this. My Phantoms would know, paint out right, because this bar is going to close at about 9 minutes at 10 a.m. Eastern. So that would be the bar high, bar low. This would be a nice little hammer close if this holds. It'd be even better if it turned green to the upside. We're trying to absorb this little intermediate supply right here, which is not the greatest in the world here. Again, macro picture, monthly, weekly, daily up. So this little speed bump here in the 30-minute time frame would be nothing for small time frames, right? So yeah, you can potentially work on this. All right. I'd want to see this bar get taken out here, which is the mother bar. All right. So some of my Phantoms would know this is not a positive COG because we're not close above this high, but we might be getting one soon. Okay. But this is setting up. Okay. This is setting up potentially here. Okay. But wait, be patient. Let it actually set up. Like in the video, I was waiting for it to close and we had a little bit of a pop, but then I was like, be careful with it, right? Because we're at all-time highs. But yeah, let this set up. QCOM's on the radar. QCOM's another beast. However, it's stuck. It's stuck in range. And so be careful with that one. Now, it is coming off the 200 moving average. Okay, this one has a little bit more legs, but it's coming off the daily 200 moving average. This one might be better. And the irony is, I was looking at QCOM, one of the last stocks that I was looking at this morning. All right, so it says QCOM on TradingView. All right, but you can see QCOM's interesting. When it's earnings, QCOM earnings are going to be interesting because we are in a range stage right now on higher time frame macros. So QCOM's super interesting here. You can see we got monthly view up, 200 moving average on daily, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Now, yesterday was, we're in the middle of the range, so it's not ideal location. All right, this is the daily time frame. Right, so we're in the middle of the range, so it's not ideal. Bit of a hammer bar close yesterday. We do have some fall through on the smalls. Okay, ironically enough. Now, the thing I like about this today is we're coming off of the 200 moving average on dailies. All right, you can see on monthlies, weeklies, dailies. Okay, usually you get nice big moves after markets just base. Qualcomm's a beast, right? So base. Earnings. I'm probably definitely going to be playing earnings on QCOM just because it's major basing here. For today, long call, I'd be very, very diligent on this. I got to take profit on Microsoft. These options are up almost 100%. Okay. Let's take profit on Microsoft, okay? From 295 to 475. I got they gave me 455. I'll take it. It's a good trade. So you can see Microsoft turned out to be top dog here, and in pre-market prep, I had mentioned it. So just stick to the process. Yeah, I would have been cool being wrong on it as well. All right, PLTR, pulled back. It's on VWAP. Small trade. Damn, 474, 480s. I gotta get these 480 prints on Microsoft here. On the option. Microsoft on fire. I have a TP symbol Microsoft here. All right, nice. I got a 480. They're going for almost $5 now. The fills suck on this today. Excuse my French. Jeez, Microsoft. Anybody catches this Microsoft here? Monster play. Microsoft printing fives. Geez, I gotta get this five. I gotta get this five print. And after this TP, I'm only gonna have 2 contracts left if my math is mathin'. But geez, that was a nice play right there. So now I only got like 2 contracts left after this, and I got a 5. I got a 5.15 fill. Check crude real quick, man. Crude's boring, man. What do you want in crude, man? It popped. VWAP. Give me something exciting. Oh, I'm just kidding. It popped into VWAP, came up into supply, and popped down. Sounds like a market. I mean, I had this level mapped out pre-market. I was looking more at 72.25 handle for the liquidity. So it's like above VWAP, pop, come from other location. And then it just popped. Came in and reverting. I mean, it's hard for me to get excited in crude, man. It's hard for me to get excited in crude. It's just rangy. It's choppy. It's rangy. It's this. It's that. Right? Look at crude versus something like, obviously I got to give an easy example. Something like Nvidia, okay, or gold. Look at right. Look, this is trendy. It's moving. It's following through, right? Versus crude oil range for months and years, right? Gold. Look at gold. Okay. There's no question of this is a macro bull uptrend, monthly, look at daily, right? Trade, right? I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. We talk about this at Phantoms, right? It's just like people try to complicate it, man. A chart is a chart, man. Give me something nice and clean. I want nice, easy setups. Why make it complicated? I'm too dumb. Okay? I'm so dumb that I need it to be fucking, and can't swear on YouTube, right? Algorithm police would get me, but I'm too dumb, right? So therefore, I trade simple things and easy setups, and I look for consistency, risk management, and when it comes to me, I'm not looking to complicate it, right? I'm not waking up at night and like, oh, come on, crude, what are you doing? I'm going to trade something that's doing, right? I can't force a market to do something, right? So, okay, great. If I missed this move from here, 789 to 780 in crude this morning, okay, oh, wow. Oh my God. Well, look at Microsoft, okay? Boom, okay? See what I'm saying? Right, there's other setups that are going to be more, right? These options are up 100%, right? So I'm going to take some off here. I only have 2 left. I'm going to take one off here. All right. And leave one runner on. All right, I seen a couple other tickers in the chat, all that, right? Y'all know I got a 610 fill on Microsoft. I got only 1 contract left on this. But I stay and trade with the team here. I'm like already over time, well over time. There's a couple other tickers, albeit, but trying to AMD messing around. Nvidia trying to give you another entry here. It did pull back to VWAP, which I like. So Nvidia, instead of buying highs, it pulled back to VWAP. And now giving positive CRG, so it might be a decent little pull trig right now. All right, again, folks, like I'm well over time. I was supposed to end this 15 minutes ago. Y'all trapped me in. Which is all good. For my Phantoms, they know I hang around. PLTR small. And that was it for the most part. All right. If this is floating your boat, or if you just completely don't understand what the heck is going on and you do want to learn a little bit more, that's cool. And if not, that's fine as well. Hit up TradePhantoms.com. Hit the register button there. Everybody started here journey. We have plenty of Phantoms in here right now. We ride it down tomorrow. Yes, sir. Hey, Jackie. Hopefully you're safe down there. You live in a crazy. I'm not going to put your personal. You live in a wild state. Name, email, right? Normal. right? Register. You'll get sent a link this Thursday, October 24th, 7 p.m. Eastern start. Mr. Black, Mr. Green, sometimes they'll both be in there with y'all folks in there. And you'll go through it's about 90 minutes, give or take, right? You'll see what Phantoms is from top to bottom here, if this floats your boat, right? If not, that's cool as well. How markets work, all three, Mr. Black, Mr. Green, Mr. Blue, myself, all professionals, all right? All assets, stocks, futures, forex, options, everything, day trading, swing trading, long-term investing. So if you're just starting out, smaller account, trading for income, cool. If you're, a bit more of the wherewithal of, retirement and trying to just manage your wealth, that as well, right? We do that as well, all right? One-stop shop, essentially, for everything, even crypto, right? We just had a crypto class not too long ago as well. Okay, multi-directional trading, up, down, sideways. All right, I'm a big options. I'm the options kind of guy here, so to speak, options trader. Okay, so you'll learn more about that as well. And yeah, stop by, see if you like it. If not, that's cool as well, man. We're still gonna do our thing, baby, and rip tape. I'm out. God bless. Take care. I'll see some of y'all later and in class, and then I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at dawn, baby. We ride. Trade safe. Blue out.